Hi, I'm Brad Wier with SAWS Conservation, and we've just had the first good rainfall of the year in San Antonio. It's been hot and dry, and with more hot, dry weather ahead, and this being the start of the summer irrigation system, we're here at this house to go through the sprinklers and get it ready for stage 2 drought restrictions. This is a free service to SAWS customers. You can have a licensed irrigator come to your house, check the sprinkler systems, check it for leaks, and set it for you. We're going to start by taking a look at the sprinkler controller. So we're in the garage, obviously, where most sprinkler controllers live. Some people run them off their cell phones. In this case, we brought a very common sprinkler controller. This is a Hunter Pro C, and we're going to show you the steps of what to check for to set it properly. So let's talk about a little Sprinkler 101. This sprinkler system has been off all year long. Hasn't been used yet. But let me show you what's going to happen when you turn it on. It's going to do 3 things. On this day, Monday, at this time, 7 a.m., it's going to run for 18 minutes on 7 zones. So it's going to run 1 day per week, 1 time on that day, and it's actually going to run for about 120 minutes total. So we'll start at your water meter, and we're going to measure how much water actually runs through the meter while your sprinklers are running. In this case, this sprinkler system uses 15 gallons a minute while it runs. So if it runs for 120 minutes at 15 gallons a minute, it'll run almost 2,000 gallons every time it runs. That's more water than you use indoors in a month. But if you run it every week, it'll run about 8,000 gallons in a month. We'll go through your sprinkler system zone by zone and get an idea of where that water's going. As you can probably see, this system has a lot of issues, and there's a lot of opportunities to make this more efficient. It's got water, it's watering the cars, it's watering the sidewalk, it's watering bare dirt. It's really high pressure, so a lot of the water comes out is just blown away in the breeze. It's also watering full-grown trees. We'll flag issues where we see them and give you a copy of the report. So we've shown you the kinds of things that can happen on a single zone of your sprinkler system. Of course, at your house, we'll go through the entire system, check all the zones, and take measurements. At the end, we'll be able to share the proper settings and ways to make it a more efficient system. SAWS has rebates for efficiency upgrades for your sprinklers. Just call 704-SAVE to schedule your sprinkler consult.
Hello and good morning. My name is Todd Knief. I'm the Business Development Consultant with Atlas Organics. Atlas Organics has partnered with the City of San Antonio starting in January of 2021. We have a 10-year contract for organic recycling. You may ask, what is organic recycling? Well, you know that green cart that sits out on your curb where you can put grass clippings, tree trimmings, brush, food waste? That green cart comes here, 8963 Nelson Road. All those city trucks come here and they dump all of this organics for us to process to make a high quality compost. Behind me is a sorting line that's a one of a kind in the world. What do I mean by that? Nobody else has done it like this before. Let me walk you through the process. First thing behind me is a shredder. The shredder takes in the raw organics, the tree trimmings, the grass clippings, and it shreds the material. From then it goes through a sorting line to a trommel screen. That trommel screen will take up the fine particulates that we reprocess later at the end. After the trommel screen, we take all the fines out. It goes through a pick line where human beings like you and I and robotics will pick the contamination out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of city of San Antonio folks out there that throw a lot of trash in that green cart. Well, we have to process that trash and remove it out of the pile. So in order to do that, we have human beings and robotics working hand to hand to remove the contamination out. That helps reduce the contamination to create that high quality compost I mentioned earlier. After the sorting line, it goes through a actual grinder where we grind the material up to a specific size, a particular size, to where we take that to our composting pad. Our composting pad is unique and different in the fact that we blow air up through the pile instead of turning the pile like a windrow process. So Atlas Organics' mission statement is to make this world better. We're taking what Mother Nature has given us, we're going to process it organically and recycle it to create a high quality compost for you and your family and your friends to use back in your lawns, your flower beds, your plant life, and to continue making this world green. So I'm standing in front of our organics pile where all that green cart organics comes from here at 8963 Nelson Road. So this is where basically all of your material at your house will come. So if you throw organics, tree trimmings, grass clippings, food waste, it'll come to us here at 8963 Nelson Road. But the interesting is not everybody uses that green cart the way they should be. As you can see down here, follow me down here real quick. There's a lot of plastic and a lot of trash that unfortunately we have to remove. So if you have that green cart sitting in your garage and you throw tree trimmings and grass clippings, I urge you to stick with the protocol and throw only organics in there. We will remove the contamination, but I urge you to help us out. So an example of what you should not put in the green cart is basically fencing. As you can see behind me, we had somebody drop off a whole bunch of fencing with nails. And unfortunately, yes, this is wood. And we do recycle tree trimmings and grass clippings and brush. But unfortunately, this is process treated lumber, and that is not allowed in the green cart, especially the nails. We'll do the best job we can to remove it, but we ask for your help on making sure that this does not get put in your green cart or don't bring it to our facility. Dispose of it properly. So I'm standing in front of the green cart. The green cart is available through all San Antonio residents. If you dial 311, you can actually get this green cart delivered to your home for tree trimmings, grass clippings, food waste, organics. So items like this right here can go directly into the green cart, and once in the green cart, they'll go into a city truck and be delivered directly to our facility. So if you want an organics green cart, please visit 311 or dial 311 and get that green cart so you can organically recycle and make this wonderful pile of compost back into your yard. So this is the Atlas Organics Green Waste Compost. It's really actually natural green compost, as I like to think about it. So that tree trimmings, the grass clippings, and food waste I mentioned earlier, this is what it ends up. We take that organics and we recycle it to make this high quality STA certified compost. What is STA certified? It's a seal of testing assurance from the United States Composting Council, knowing that if you get this compost and you use it as top dressing, lawn dressing, bed maintenance, put in your flowering pots, you know that this compost is grass seed, weed seed free, pathogen free, and as full of nutrition to provide lots of nutrient and growth for your plants and for your grass. So this compost is a natural green compost, again, from Atlas Organics, 8963 Nelson Road. So as you can see here, we loaded Miss Christy Summers up with 1 cubic yard of natural green compost from Atlas Organics. She's gonna take this compost and she's gonna do some top dressing, some bed maintenance, and a lot of other things with it. Our compost is at 8963 Nelson Road. It's $22 per cubic yard, 1 yard minimum. If you have a truck like her and you have the capabilities of coming down here, come on over. Gardening Volunteers of South Texas supports us and we support you. If you don't have a truck or capabilities of hauling 1 cubic yard at a time, let me know. My number is 210-441-1505. 210-441-1505. I can have somebody haul material directly to you. I'd like to say thank you for your time, and on behalf of Atlas Organics, let's keep this green.
Hi, Christy Summers with Gardening Volunteers of South Texas. Welcome back. Now you get to see what I get to do all weekend, and I get to shovel all this wonderful compost I just got from Atlas Organics. Thank you to Todd down on Nelson Road. I got a whole truckload of wonderful organic compost that I'm going to put in my front yard. So my project started 2 years ago during the pandemic, and I wanted to take what was nothing but weeds and dirt and make this beautiful retaining wall and make this a giant butterfly garden. So I used my San Antonio water system coupons, and I got all my plants and my mulch, and then I bought my brick from Home Depot, and I designed this and did this by myself. So anybody that's a homeowner, you can do this in your yard. Do not think you cannot. It was very easy to do, a lot of YouTube videos, but I decided to put perennials in my yard. That way they come back every year. But I did not know that after the snow and the freeze and good organic materials in the ground, some plants got bigger than others. So this year I'm going to move some things around. But I used my e-coupons, which are different than your landscape coupons with the San Antonio water system. So let me tell you a little bit about the e-coupons. I went to Rainbow Garden last week and I got 3 coupons, a $30 coupon, a $50 e-coupon, and a $70 coupon. I added all together, that's $150 I could spend at Rainbow Garden, Millburgers, Fanix for anything I wanted. You can get tools, you can get mulch, you can get compost, you can get plants, trees. So you want to stay within the Texas superstars and the drought-tolerant plants. That is what really drives water conservation in San Antonio. So the whole thing was, is I went and spent my $150 coupon and I got a whole bunch of new plants that are going into this bed this weekend. So it will be beautiful, popping with colors, lots of salvia. Everything's deer resistant because I have deer that come right up the street here from the canyon. And so I am going to put dirt and build a berm here and put some blue bonnets, and I have some yellow lantana, some beautiful salvias. A lot of the plants in this are butterfly plants that the hummingbirds come to, the butterflies. I have milkweed for the monarch butterflies. And I am so proud that I did this, but you can do it too, and I will show you how. So these are some of the blue bonnets that I want to put over here in front of my cowboy boots, which I'm famously known for my country western dancing. So I wanted to showcase them, and I put some little bricks underneath of it to kind of make them higher. My front yard comes straight down on an incline. That's why I put 2 bricks on the back and 4 in the front. So as it rains, it holds all the water in and retains it, and I don't lose it. But I'm going to build a little berm here, kind of on an upscale, so you won't see the bricks under the boots when I'm done. So I'm going to build some dirt and some compost around here. That way it'll showcase this, but I want the blue bonnets to come back every year with the boots. And then this has got orange flowers on it, and then I've got my yellow lantana here, and then I've got my little pink sage here. And Just little pops of color. It makes such a difference. And of course the butterflies and the hummingbirds and the bees, they love all this. So this is all going to go in today and tomorrow. It's not an overnight job, but it is fun and rewarding when it's all done. So my game plan today is, provided it doesn't pour down rain again, that already stopped me this morning, is to get at least a good 2 to 4 inches of the compost in here, level it all out, make it look good, lay out my plants where I want them, and then I've got bags of local grown organic soil that I'm going to put on top of that has somewhat a little bit of a fertilizer in there for flowering plants, and then I'm going to put black mulch on top of that. So by the time I'm done, it's like a 4 to 2 inch, 2 to 4 inch on your compost, depending on how much you want to build this up. But it's usually a 2, 2, and 2. 2 inches of compost, 2 inches of garden soil, and 2 inches of mulch. And that will keep it moist all summer long during the hot summer. So my front bricks, they have really, I need to fill in over here. So I'm probably going to put more compost in the front. But that is the goal. Now, one thing about mulch, some people just like chunky mulch. That's great. I like black because it makes everything pop, but be careful with your mulches that have dyed colors in them, because that doesn't always do good and doesn't always put good stuff back in the soil. I like the finely black velvet mulch from Milberger's because it is finer and it looks like dirt, and so it's not real chunky. And then the next year when I bring in my new compost from Atlas, it'll go back in on top of that. So it just all feeds the plants, and the soil gets better and better with every year. And I don't have to do any digging. I just move the dirt around and put the pot in. So it makes it a lot easier. So I wanted to bring you down to this side of my yard. I haven't raked all this yet, and some people just leave the leaves in here for extra composting, but I don't like to. I like to go around and do it because this beautiful plant, this Mystic Spears, it reseeds itself. This was one little plant for $4.99 from Rainbow Gardens, and after the freeze, now look what it is. So your perennials will seed themselves year to year. So when I bought this house in 2004, it had nothing in it. It was just all plain grass. So I planted this lilac tree in 2007 and that one, and now they're trees. Sometimes it can be a bush, depends on how you trim it. So I trim these to be trees, and they're very open, so I like to hang my lights at night and my baskets. And this tree is a red bud, so in spring, that's how you know spring is here. Your red buds will be the first to bloom, and it's beautiful pink, but that's my umbrella the rest of the year. And it's great shade, so it does give plants some shade, some sun. So if you get the little tick on your plants and it says partial shade, partial sun, those would be great under a tree like these, because you're gonna get partial shade, partial sun. This will be all leveled out. I'm going to move some things around, but again, once I'm done with all this, that's it for the year. Then I can just sit out here and enjoy it. Easy peasy. Come see us at Gardening Volunteers of South Texas. We'll teach you how to do this. Last lesson. Todd from Atlas Organics and I really want to burn this one in. If you own a green cart and you put this out at your curb, all I want to see inside of it is this. I want to see leaves, dead plants, and stuff around your yard, branches, anything, your grass cuttings, clippings. Nothing else should go in here. This is organic matter, nothing, no plastic, no paper bags. Don't bag up your plastic bags with leaves and throw them in here, because then somebody at the dump sites then got to unbag all those. Leave everything loose. On top of your green cart is a sticker. It shows you only what goes in here. Yard trimmings, leaves, food scraps. So your banana peels, anything you like, take potato peelings, food soil paper, pizza bags, paper shreds. That's it. Nothing else should go in here. Please, please, please help our system and get our good compost coming back in your yard.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the first show. At the end of each show, we're going to be doing a little Q&A. And because this is the first show, I get to do my own Q&A. The first question that I get all the time is, what is compost? Compost is completely decomposed organic matter. So it's going to be very small, and because it's completely decomposed, it's going to smell like fresh earth. The second question I get all the time is, well, what is the difference between compost and mulch? Well, compost is completely decomposed, and mulch is wood chips and leaves and branches, what have you. They are not decomposed at all. So on one hand, completely decomposed, the other, not decomposed at all. The third question I always get is, when and where do I apply it? Well, compost is great because you can apply it both on the beds and turf and in the ground inside the beds. So mulch you cannot. And there are various reasons why you can't do that, but mulch on top, compost in the soil. When do we do it? When do we apply compost? We generally apply to do it in the early spring, February, March, April, and again in the fall, October and November. So that's the best time to apply the compost. And you really should do it every year.